Welcome to OWNorDisown, where tech decisions are made easy.
Hi, Stephen from OWNorDisown. Well, I just bought these two items from AliExpress as part of their summer sale. And I must say, I am really impressed. They do seem to have better choices and better prices. Many of their items are hugely discounted, some even up to 90%. The first item is the Razer Basilisk V3 gaming mouse, which costs about $45. And the second is an awesome Linux-based Trimui Smart Pro handheld gaming system with 11,756 games on it from various game systems that only cost me $73. Plus there is free shipping, which is a huge plus for me. Now, competing platforms cost more and don't include any games. Now, AliExpress also provided me 2 coupon codes as part of their summer sale to help you guys save some money. Now, they don't take effect until June the 15th, but all you got to do is just apply the code just below the payment summary. The codes are OWN9 for $9 for anything that's over $30, and OWN25 for $25 off for anything that's over $100. Now, don't be put off because their items are shipping from overseas. Both of these items were shipped by air from China and actually arrived within 4 days, and they also have a 15-day free return policy. Everything arrived well packaged. In the box of the handheld gaming console, you get an insert showing the buttons and the port layout, and also instructions on how to do a firmware update if required. Now, I was hoping actually to see some instructions in the box, but they are available on the device itself, and I was pleasantly surprised that the user guide and all of the buttons were in English. They supply a USB-C charging cable, but there's no power brick, but to be fair, that's par for the course these days. The only other thing in the box is the gaming console itself, which is in a plastic bag. I was also happy to see that a screen protector was installed, although it's not tempered glass, so it'll only protect against scratches. When you are buying it, you have the option to have games installed on a 256GB micro SD card, which is what I did. The other option, which is $10 less, is to have no games installed, and you just have the onboard 64GB available. Now, for that extra $10, it is a no-brainer to have the games installed from several game systems, including Atari Lynx, Atari 2600 and 7800, Capcom systems 1, 2 and 3, FB Neo, FC console for original NES games, Game Gear, GB, GBA and GBC games, Sega Mega Drive 16-bit games, Nintendo 64, NDS, Neo Geo, PlayStation 1 games, and many more. To be honest, it's quite incredible, really. Now, the screen is IPS, it's 4.95 inches with a resolution of 720 by 1280. Now, the body is made of plastic, but it's available, like my model here, in white or in black. It is suitable for kids as it is reasonably small, slightly longer than my Samsung Galaxy S22 Ultra phone. I found it very comfortable to hold, and it only weighs 9 ounces or 255 grams. And with its 5000 mAh battery, I can easily see it lasting at least 5 hours of gaming. Plus, it has a media player app on it for watching downloaded videos. Under the hood, it is powered by a 1.8 GHz All-Winner A133P processor and 1GB of low-powered DDR4X RAM. Now, it did feel snappy enough. There was a slight delay when closing out of a game and going to the menu, but nothing bad. The GPU is the Imagination PowerVR GE8300, clocked at 660 MHz, which is common for mid-range ARM SoCs. I blasted through a range of games, including various vertical shooters, Crash Bandicoot from PlayStation, one of my favourite shooters, Galaga, Pokemon, Addams Family from Game Gear, and Tennis from Nintendo 64. You can also search for games and add them as favourites. I had a blast, literally playing Space Invaders again. It is great that so many games are available in such an inexpensive device that feels well built. Now, the speakers, they have two 2-watt speakers, and they're okay. Loud enough, for most usages, but if there's a lot of ambient noise around, I suggest using headphones because there is a 3.5mm audio jack. You see there is also a microphone, which I suspect you can use to talk with people you're playing against on your network, as it does allow that. Now, the function switch at the bottom can be configured to turn on CPU save or performance mode, as well as turn off or on the RGB, which you see around the two thumbsticks. The other controls include a 4-way D-pad on the left above the left thumbstick and 4 circular buttons above the right thumbstick. At the top you have 4 shoulder buttons. Now the thumbsticks, they don't click down, but they do feel solid, so I wasn't worried about them breaking at all. Also at the top you do have a power button, and with a single tap it puts it to sleep. And you also have 2 volume buttons. So yeah, to conclude, the Trimui Smart Pro is a solid handheld gaming device. It won't break your bank, and it also won't break in your hands. It's small enough to carry around in your pocket even. The thumbsticks, they only stick out about 2 to 3 millimeters, and I think it's perfect for kids. Now moving on to the second item I bought. It's actually the Razer Basilisk V3 gaming mouse. Now at $45 I thought it was a pretty good deal, considering it's a well-known brand with a 2-year warranty. In the box you get an instruction manual and some Razer stickers. The mouse is a matte black plastic that seems to be scratch resistant, and it has a braided cable which is about 4 foot long. I would say it's a medium-sized gaming mouse, and it fits my medium-sized hands perfectly. It is a right-handed mouse. It's 5.1 inches or 130 millimeters long, 2.95 inches or 75 millimeters wide, and has a height of 1.65 inches or 43 millimeters. Yeah, the mouse I have been using for my day-to-day stuff and all my video editing was the one included by CyberPower PC when I bought my laptop from them. And although that tracked well, my hand, would start ache after using it for editing for many hours. Now the Razer Basilisk just feels so comfortable in my hand. It just rests so nicely on top of it. And I really do like, the sculpted section here for where your thumb goes. There's a nice textured rubber coating in it. Now all my other mice, they're made of plastic, and many don't even have a place to support your thumb. Now one big benefit is that you get no finger drag, making its movements really smooth. This smooth movement is also helped by the 100% PTFE feet that are at the bottom, and it makes it glide effortlessly on my desk. Now as a comparison, I set the Basilisk and the CyberPower mouse on an inclined surface, and the latter clearly had more friction in its movement. Now at 101 grams or 3.5 ounces, I did find it lighter than most of my other mice, which makes it ideal for those that use mainly wrist movements, or perhaps you are short on space on your desk. Now there are no batteries in it, so that makes it lighter, and there's no option to add any weights to it. Now it does claim to have 11 programmable buttons, but I can only see 10. Now on the left here, you have a great multifunction button that by default is set up to a certain DPI setting. Now I have mine set up to 500 DPI, and all you have to do is just keep it depressed and that setting will be applied. Now you release it and the default DPI setup will be applied then. This is ideal for sniping on the go. Now you can also have it set up to use in conjunction with the scroll wheel to adjust the DPI on the fly. The other 2 buttons on the left are just regular mouse buttons. On the top you have your scroll wheel, which can be depressed, or it can be clicked left and right, and behind that you have a button that by default alters the spin characteristics of the scroll wheel, and behind that is a button that defaults to altering the DPI. Pressing it shows the DPI setting on the screen, which is very useful. You can have up to 5 DPI stages from 100 to 26,000, and they have 3 polling frequencies to choose from. You have 125, 500 and 1000 Hz. Now the scroll wheel can either rotate slowly with a discernible tactile feel for precise and not scrolling, or can be set to spin freely for high speed scrolling. Or you can actually also set it to smart wheel, whereby rotating it faster switches it from tactile mode to free spin mode. Each button can be programmed to do something different. Within the Razer Synapse software, you can choose Hypershift, which allows you to activate a secondary profile on the mouse at the press of a key, basically doubling the amount of inputs as if it had 20 buttons. The mouse uses a Razer Plus optical sensor, which I found to be excellent at tracking, and the optical switches have a 0.2 millisecond activation speed with 0 misclicks. And in my accuracy test at 1600 DPI, I achieved a 100% click accuracy, and at 3200 DPI, 98%, which to be honest I thought was pretty good. Now personally, I have always found the Razer Synapse software to be a bit obtrusive. always seemingly wanting to update, but there's no denying that you can do a hell of a lot with it. Customizing what every button does, changing performance, adjusting the RGB lighting around the scroll wheel, around the base, and the Razer symbol on the back of the mouse. You can also calibrate the mouse and adjust the lift off distance. The best part is that you can create 5 profiles to suit a particular game or task that you do a lot of, and they're actually stored on the mouse itself. So you can use the mouse on a different computer and use the same profiles by just pressing the button underneath, and there's a coloured LED that shows you what profile you're in. So yeah, I think, for $45, I think this Razer Basilisk V3 is a bargain and will now be my go-to mouse. And as for the service of AliExpress, I was actually very impressed with the speed the items arrived, and they were in good condition. Now, I've had no experience with their sales support or their return service. But if you have, let me know in the comments what you think of AliExpress and how it worked out for you. Thank you for watching. If you found my videos useful, please consider subscribing, and I'll see you next time. Bye now.